Welcome back to another video. This one is going to be all about getting stuff back on the car. Let's see how much I can get done. Start with something easy. I'm going to put the quarter trims on for here. I found my bolts that bolt them all on. I will clean up the rusty ones and we'll give them a nice coat of black paint, and we'll get to assembly. Now, I believe you line up the screws here first. Get my little screws, and then this is the and that is that. Put the other side on and we'll think about maybe putting the full trim on. I do have a piece here, I think goes somewhere on here, something like that. Well, would you look at that? I got wifey to help me put the bonnet on last night, so I've just been, trying to do up the bonnet bolt on the hinges. It's not, until I get the guards on, I don't know exactly where it's going to want to be, but what I did do is I'll put it down, and I just leveled up the back edge of the bonnet with the scuttle, got that kind of level, and then I'll readjust when the guards are on. But looking pretty spiffy, hey? I'll close the bonnet and give you a gander. Wowee, would you look at that? How good does that look? Magnificent. So yeah, what I was up to was just getting that kind of level. With it loosely bolted on, it was sticking up really high, so just put a bit of pressure on it to push it down, tighten the bolts up, kind of get it where it wants to be. It does open and close without hitting anything here, so that's a good sign. It is very dusty, so can't help that, but this is going to look magnificent when those guards go on. Oh, about to cream me dacks. I am an idiot. I've latched the bonnet and I can't get it open. Now the fun starts trying to get it back open from underneath because the latch will not work. Wish me luck. I got it open. I had to feed some electrical wire through the hook here and come over here and pull with all my might, and I got it to pop. So that won't be latching anytime soon. I need to work out why. I think I need to adjust the cable. It's like a dick in a shirt sleeve, so that needs to be adjusted, and then I can think about closing it again another time. Next day, bonnet latch is now sorted out. I found out what the issue was. The screw that holds the cable in place was stripped and I couldn't tighten it. So as soon as I went to open it the first time, the cable's just pulled through and not been able to hold. So I've now put a bigger screw in, it's holding, I've tested it, I've closed the bonnet, and I've been able to open it with the bonnet latch. Although first time nothing, second time it seems to work. So probably still a little bit of adjustment in there, but it can be latched and unlatched now without any issues. So I guess the next step is I want to test fit the driver's guard. The bonnet seems to be a little low on the driver's side compared to the passenger side. So if I get a guard on, I'll be able to see if that's low or high, or which side needs to come up or down. So let's try that. Well, you can't get much more dumber than me. As you saw in that footage, I fitted the guard on, didn't have a bolt, went to go get one, and of course it fell off. And it's landed here and put some scuff marks. I'm hoping that'll buff out. Like, it hasn't gone through, it's just marked it. Like that one there's, and there's a chip there. Bloody hell, I'm a bloody idiot. But it does look all right though, doesn't it? But I'm an idiot. I've even marked it there, it's marked everywhere. Bloody idiot. Ooh, it's getting windy out there. Okay, so those bolts are done up. And I've also done the 3 under there. Still got left is that one in there and one underneath, and there's one inside. I've got the screw holding it there. Now what I did do was I found I've got some blue polish that I just went over those marks, or that when it fell on the floor. Just one quick little wipe up has, it's starting to get rid of them. So I think, they'll polish out, they'll be right. This one here will just have to be a bit of touch-up paint. And those ones there will blend out as well. So I think I'll get away with it, but when it comes to the other side, I need to be more careful. I can't just be going cock a hoot and leaving things on without any bolts on, because that's what's going to happen. even though the other side's going to have the antenna on it, so it's not going to fall off. But stupid me, I should have thought, bring at least one bolt over with you to start with. But, you know, test fitting them on beforehand, you know, with that other old paint on it, you know. I used to sit them on like that and with no worries and not want to fall off. And of course, you know, when it's got the good paint on it, off she goes. Anyways, I'll button up the rest of that guard. There's also screws that go under there that screw it to the guard liner. And then this one will be done and I can start fitting the other side. Just got the bonnet closed, not latched, but if you look at that gap, it's the same all the way, so that looks pretty good. Hopefully the gap on the other side when I put the guard on is similar to that. I do, however, have to adjust that indicator so it matches that groove. I did latch the bonnet before, it did shut down, you know, close quite nicely. So I'm thinking that this side must be high, but get the other guard on and we'll see what happens. I've now fitted the other guard and that one went on without any issues. I didn't drop it, it went on. I did have to take the headlight out to get that one in though. But look at that. Look at that. It's just a shame that it's dark. You can't get the full light on it. And it's very dusty too, so but just look at that. This side's probably a bit lighter. Get some idea of what it looks like. Put me guard rubbers on that go in between the bonnet. That's made that really tight to close now, but that's okay. Now I have pulled out all my trims that go around the door frames up the top and started cleaning those. They could do with a good polish, so I've got me polish out. Done that one. You can see that looks a bit more brighter than the rest, so I'll keep continuing to polish those. But this piece here has 3 screws on it. I don't quite know what I've done with those. I do have some leftover screws from the back plastic. It could be those. I'll have to suss that out. I did quickly try them in the holes on the car and they didn't quite fit, so whether or not they are the ones or not, time will tell. But making good progress and starting to look really good. Just imagine that with the aeros on it, not crappy wheels. Good news is I found the screws and it is these ones on here. I just had a few wrong in the back in there, so I swapped them out to ones with the washers on them, and those ones go in there, so I can clean all that up and get that back on the car. And just another view of the front end. Just imagine with the bumper and the grilling. Working on some trims here. I don't know how much this is going to show on camera, but I've had these 3 on the bench grinder, just polishing them up, and these 3 have not. It doesn't really show up. There is, you know, a bit more shine to that. It does get a lot of those little scratchy, swirly marks. If there's any of those swirly marks, it does buff those out. It doesn't get out the deeper scratches, but that's okay. For second-hand trims, these are pretty good. Some of them got little dings in them, but what can you do? I will give these a polish with the polish and then get them on the car. And then I'll polish up the other ones and get them on the car. And then it'll be bright and shiny. That trim is finally on. I don't recommend doing that. That was painful work. So what you pretty much got to do is you've got to start with the center bit and then do your front bit and your rear bit. If you put your front bit on, you can't get the top on. And then you've got to kind of have the clips that go underneath it. You've got to have them spread out, and you've got to kind of got to go up and then you roll it down to clip it on. So that, oh, I've missed the bottom clip there, so I need to redo that. So I'll pop that off and clip that back on properly. But that is what it now looks like with the trim around there. I've polished up this side and I'm just refitting the trim. So as you can see, I've got it sitting on top there. If I roll it down like that, kind of need two hands. Sorry about the glare off the chrome, but if you roll it down, if I can even actually get it on the camera, it sits on well. I hopefully got it in the right place, and then we can put the trims on. So there's a movable pin thing here which goes in that hole there. So I'll line that up, and then you've got polish on the inside, so we'll get rid of that. And then you've got 4 screws that go in there. But I want to get this clipped in here. And just like that, that's how that goes in, but I forgot to take this screw out, so I'll do that first. That's probably why it wasn't fitting up nicely. Too far. Apologies for not filming that. I needed 2 hands to get those screws in, because I had to push so the holes would line up just to be able to get that in. So you've all seen screws screwed in, they're screwed in. But I will show you how to put this last piece on the back. This is the easiest one. All it is just clipped on. So as previous, you've got your screws for in that. You've got this shape here, which wants to go just over that. And then you've got a small lip on the back here, which hooks over these parts here. That one's broken, but that's all right. And then it just wraps around. So let's do that. Line it up where we want him, hook it over these, and then we just push him on. We're a little high, it needs to come down a smidgen. That's it. Now that it's on, let's clean up our fingerprints so we have our nice polished chrome and it doesn't look so dirty. And then we can let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Look at the reflection, the brightness of the lights. Wowee. How good does that look there? Right, that's it. I'm going to wrap this video up here and we'll get some more assembly done on the next video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.